Sam at the start of practice said that maybe the most impactful guy on the team can be whoever ends up as number 2 running back. Just kind of, what do you think of that? And just is anybody emerging at that position?
I agree totally. Right now we have 3 or 4 guys fighting for it. Between all can do different things. Between Rocket and AJ and Josh, they're doing a great job. Dominique has a role. All the guys doing a great job. So we're gonna continue through this in fall camp, and we're gonna find a 2 and a 3. So somebody can do everything. Somebody who can do catch the ball in the backfield, protect, and run everything. We're gonna run inside and outside. I don't want a guy. I got role players. We had role players. So I want a guy who can do everything.
Coach, I'm sure those freshmen probably had to brush up on pass pro and stuff like they always do. But what are you seeing out of those 2 guys, AJ and Rocket?
Honestly, they're 2 guys that do very well, but they're totally different. Rocket is a guy who, when he was in high school, I think they pretty much gave him the ball, and he made plays. He's great with the ball in his hand, but he didn't understand all the ins and outs of running back because he played receiver so much. So he's a sponge. He's learning, but he has a little bit more learning to do. AJ, I think he played running back for a long time, so he kind of understands it. So it makes more sense to him when you give it to him. And he's got a calmness about himself to be a freshman. It's very. You don't find that a lot. He's just always calm. Nothing rattles him right now. So 3 days I haven't seen him rattle in no situation. He kind of just keep on playing and keeps it going. So that's a big deal.
Do you think either of those guys could factor into the return game, or maybe somebody else at running back?
You win 10-8. You can factor in. And Rocket, I think he can too. I think he's a fast guy. Get down here real fast. Ain't scared of nothing. So I really feel like both of those guys can help us on the return game as well as other special teams.
Has Treylon stepped up as a leader? Because last year, he came in behind Boyd. Mm-hmm. Now he's kind of the Rakeem Boyd from last year. Has he step up in leadership and just maybe practicing hard and stuff?
I'm probably give you an answer you probably didn't think you're going to get. He was a leader last year. Treylon's that type of kid. Like, he goes hard. He loves football. So in the weight room, on the field, he's going to go hard all the time. So although Rakeem was a good back and one of the guys that we were depending on and probably the start at the beginning of the year, Treylon practiced hard every day, went hard in the weight room every day. So he's a natural leader because he loves football and he goes so hard. Like, he want to do well. He's not selfish at all, which I really love.
Hey, Jimmy, I was just wondering what you're seeing from Josh and how you think his track background translate to football and how that helps him, because a lot of good backs have been track guys too.
I think it helps, of course, in the open field when he gets in the open field. The thing with him is as a coach, you have to understand your players and understand strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes in zone game, he's a little quick. I had to change some steps and stuff and change stuff up for him. But once he gets out in space, he's special. What's amazing about him is most fast guys are not as quick as him. He's fast and quick, which is a good combination, because running backs, for me, fast is like a bonus. I have to have quickness in the burst, though. You got to have a quickness in the burst to be a good running back. You can't just be a guy who can run fast straight ahead. You got to be able to have a quickness in the burst.
Hey, Jimmy, you said Treylon was a leader last year. How would you assess what his year was like and then what you wanted him to focus on coming into this year?
Last year, I think what I enjoyed about him last year was he continued to work no matter what. He was the starter, the second guy, went in for a season. Whenever he got an opportunity, took advantage of it. This year, I anticipate him having a really good year, not just because it's his second year, but because we've gotten better as a team, offensively and defensively. We got better as a team. So I think he's going to have a lot more opportunities, and he's going to take advantage of them.
Exactly his size is an every down kind of back. So what is it that makes him special, would you say?
He got a big heart, man. He got heart. I got a nickname. I call him Little Big Man. He don't know he don't got no mirrors around the house, I don't think. He don't know he ain't big. When he play ball, he plays like he's the biggest guy there. Like, he runs into the linebacker like the biggest guy. When he finishes a run, he's not trying to figure out who's bigger or smaller. He attacks everybody the same way. So that's a great thing to have in him. That's why, honestly, it's so important to have a second back, because you have to have somebody who can take some of that off of him, because he runs so hard and plays so hard. You got to have another guy that can give him some breaks sometime. If I had 2 of them, I'd be all right, but it's only one of them.
Yeah, I was wondering how TJ is being used. Is he still spending time with y'all in the running back room, or is he receivers? How's that looking?
Doing a little bit of both. We're splitting time with learning both. He's done a good job. TJ's gonna be a guy that can play both. I think the running back is a lot. He learns it a lot quicker. it's a little easier for him. So we got him doing a little more receiver stuff this week, trying to save some legs with some of the guys, doing some stuff with the other guys. So trying to get a good rotation receiver-wise, running back-wise, got a good rotation. So he's helping us out in both spots right now.
It looked today like Dominic was with the 2s and Javion Hunt with the 3s. How have those two guys been doing for you?
To be honest with you, the way I do the backs, it's trailing and it's guys for spots. So I have situations where I use them. So they'll have, what I do is I have a list of plays and I say, okay, you ran outside zone 7 times yesterday. I need you for work inside zone. It's more of trying to get stuff on film so I can teach them off of it instead of going down the list of plays. So really the rotation is a little different depending on that.
Josh is a little bit lighter than your typical running back. Is he a guy that maybe has more of a specialty role, or do you see him just plugging in and doing everything else if he were to get into a game?
I guess it would be specialty, but it would be not just because of his lightness, but because of for games. Depending on what we're doing offensively, if that made sense.
Dominic, he's a big guy. I think in the spring, he probably, I think he surprised a lot of us with his agility and balance and stuff.
Yeah, Dominic, again, like I said before, he's one of those guys who, he's a perfect example of what I said about a burst and quickness. He has quickness for a big guy. He's not no burner, but he has enough quickness and enough of a burst when he sees something, he can get to it. So that's what it's all about for running back, getting to what he sees.
On the goal line, do you prefer a big back, or do you feel like a guy like Treylon, who's a regular back and runs pretty tough, is a guy you would go with?
Who we playing? Who we playing against and what we trying to do. But I think Treylon can handle it. If I could choose it every time, I probably would give Dominic some shots and Treylon some spots and different guys some spots. But I think it depends on what you're trying to run. And, of course, we're a tempo team. So all that depends on it, too. You know what I mean?
I know you obviously don't coach the O-line, but I was wondering what your thoughts were on Myron Cunningham out there at left tackle, if you have some thoughts about job he's doing, the kind of player he is potentially his.
Dependable. That's what you want at that position. You want a guy who's dependable, who's going to give you what you need every game, who you can rely on. That's one thing. I played quarterback, so a guy like Myron is a big deal. You want your left tackle to be somebody you can rely on. Dependable guy. That's what he is.
Hey, coaches, what are you seeing from your guys in terms of, I guess, one, pass protection, and then catching the ball out of the backfield?
All of them doing a great job, man. Like, I don't have a guy. If I had to say a guy who probably was the guy who you want to get out of the backfield, probably you say TJ because he's a receiver. But with pass protection, all of them doing a good job. All of them do it differently. I pride myself on putting every player in a perfect situation, a good situation. So you got to know what they're good at. So you have to be able to teach them how to pass pro according to what they can do. Dominic might do it a little different. I might tell him to be a little more aggressive. I might tell Treylon to be a little more aggressive. Dominic be a little less aggressive. Depends on what they're good at and what their size is. That's what I use. So they're doing all of them doing a good job of doing what I'm asking them to do right now.
Jimmy, congrats on your raise, by the way. Two-part question. What was the attraction for you to come to this program? And now that you're entering year 2 and Sam's in year 2, what do you think about the direction that you guys are going, the base that you have going into year 2?
First part of the question, Sam Pittman. It's simple. Great guy. First met him. I can tell he was a great guy. It's very important to me to be able to go out and recruit kids and be able to say that the head coach is going to take care of you. He cares about the kids that's coming in and not have to be my way around. I can be honest and be saying that. That's very important for me. What's the second question again?
Where y'all are at in year 2?
I think year 2 is always important in anything you're doing. I think that because of year 1, everything's new to everybody. Everybody's trying to figure it out, from players to the coaches to the strength staff to nutrition to the campus to everything's going on. I think once you get a little settled, you'll do a little better. So hopefully that's the situation with us.
Yeah, Coach, I was curious about you as a recruiter. You're from South Carolina, 20-something years ago. You landed in Georgia. There's a lot of athletes over there. I was wondering about how you think your background in those states and also your personality, and you're a bit younger guy, a little bit younger.
Yeah.
How you can relate to these kids and bring what you bring to the table, what you're looking for at running back also.
Well, For me, when it comes to recruiting, I am a little different with my recruiting style. I'm so honest and straightforward with the kids. I think that's something that I almost fell into it because I didn't know the recruiting rules or whatever. That's just how I did it, and it was effective. I enjoy it. I think that they got good players everywhere. I think that Georgia is just where I got my background. Texas, I want to get more into that, and I think I can relate to anybody. So I just enjoy the process of being able to tell a kid that he can come to college and get an education and be successful in life. So it's just fun for me just to be able to help somebody do that.
Traylon Smith, you had more snaps last year when Rakeem got hurt, but then he showed he deserved probably more playing time. What do you think last year did for him from a confidence standpoint, just being able to do all that stuff? And what's the next step for him this season to where can he improve and be even better?
The confidence part of it, he's a naturally confident kid. I think what helped us more than anything was the other people around him got confidence in him. They started believing that he could do it because they didn't know. Because the year before he didn't play. So, like the stuff that y'all report and what they see is what they started to believe too. So that only thing they knew was Rakeem Boyd. That's all they heard about. Once Traylon started playing, they're like, oh, okay, he's pretty good too now. So the kids kind of start believing. And I'm a firm believer in the linemen are very important. But the harder the backs run, the more the linemen want to block for the backs. So that's a big deal for the linemen. They key off each other, play off each other. So it's a big deal.
Josh has kind of a unique background being a track guy and then coming over to football. What can you remember about how that came about? How did he approach y'all about playing, or how did that emerge?
We had a kid, Xavier Kelly. He came up and his dad knew Josh's dad. And he started talking about him. And I said, we'd love to get to know him a little better. If he's already on campus, you know what I'm saying? He can run a 10-3. He can't hurt nothing. And then I glanced at his film. And when you say a track guy from the beginning, you think a guy who just can run fast and he's not really. I watched his film. He was running into people. He wasn't scared. He was a tough guy. I couldn't see his exact size, but I can tell he was tough. I know he wasn't big, but then once I saw him and we got him out there, I can tell that he can, be a good football player.
How did he do with the three guys last year?
He did great. I think he had injuries before, so it really bothered him when it first mentally. But the physical part of it, once we, talked to him and told him that it's gonna be okay, work yourself back and get all the way back. It worked out good. I think the thing that worked out good for us was that track was on the same page as we were. They didn't just try to rush him back. They kind of said, okay, we understand. Because going from, a toe on a track, especially on the bank track, that's a lot of pressure on your toe. And spikes is your foot, you feel it, you feel all of it. So I think they did a good job. I appreciate them kind of working with him, being patient with him too.
Some football coaches, they're kind of greedy. It's like, I don't want a guy playing anything else. I don't want him playing baseball or running track or doing whatever. But I've always thought it's good if the coaching staffs work together, and kind of push it that way. What's your all's philosophy on that as far as, recruiting a guy, maybe a two-sport guy?
Oh, we love it. We want athletes. We want a guy who can play multiple sports. And the good thing about it is the other sports agree. So if we just want it, it won't help us none. But track don't mind it. Baseball doesn't mind it. So it's really important for us. And that's a good thing. I think that you'll have athletes as it goes that say, okay, I want to go somewhere. We've got a great baseball team. That's great. We got a great track program. So for us, that's a great thing for football. Because football is a big sport. And a lot of people play football, but if you can say, okay, we're good in football and it helps a lot.